And how long is he going to be able to play?
Right.
And the other thing about Brady, and we'll get into this a little later in the program, is, there are people who are, always trying to defend. Well, he ruined his legacy. He should have quit after he won the Super Bowl for Tampa, or even last year when they lost to the Rams, and he played pretty well, and then Stafford had the long pass to Cooper Kupp and set up the touchdown and all that stuff, right? To come back this year, he did not have a good year. The last game was brutal.
In 3 miles, take exit 17 on the left to merge onto I-696 East
I
toward
think
Fort
what
Huron.
he did in that playoff game, but more importantly, what he didn't do, I think that was pretty much the nail in the coffin. I think he realized.
I don't think it would come down to one game. I think statistically throughout the course of the year, yes, the wins weren't there. He still had a great statistical season as a quarterback.
Right.
But if you're comparing that to the standard that is Tom Brady, no, I don't think it was what he was hoping for throughout the course of the year. Could he go to a team like San Francisco? Could he have gone to a team like San Francisco and won another Super Bowl? I think he could have.
Well, two things happened in the last 72 hours, roughly, that make the timing a little questionable. Number one was the elimination of the Niners, and there could have been back-channel conversations between now and then. Was there interest? Hey, yes or no? Is there interest? The other one is the coach he was linked to in Miami. Sean Payton took a job in Denver. I don't know. I think he's probably just done.
Yes.
I think this is more about. I do think he'll be part of the Super Bowl broadcast. I'm not sure he's going to go in there and take Greg Olson's seat right away, but I would be stunned not to see him as part of their coverage.
Right.
And also in the last 72 hours, the 80 for Brady premiere.
Exactly.
That's right.
Got to go on the movie tour.
Oh, God.
The publicity tour.
248-539-9797. We got the Wide 9 coming up at 8:35. Wojo at 9:35 and Heather now.
So there's this 19-year-old girl from Iowa who is facing some serious charges after faking cancer to just rake in tens of thousands of dollars in donations. Now, this girl, she lied on TikTok and on GoFundMe. She said that she was battling pancreatic cancer. She had leukemia. She said she had a tumor the size of a football. Well, this teen, her name's Madison Russo, she was arrested on January 23rd on a first-degree theft charge, which is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. And this girl went all out, right? Like, she made all of these videos on her social media showing all of her treatments. She did talks at her university about her health struggles, and apparently she also gave some sort of a talk at the National Pancreatic Foundation. But her story really started to unravel on January 11th when some anonymous witnesses started to claim that they noticed some really big medical discrepancies in her videos. She had this equipment. I don't know where she got all of this medical equipment, but she wasn't apparently using it properly in her videos. So people started to contact authorities and say, hey, something isn't right here. And then there was a big investigation and determined, no, this young girl, perfectly healthy, never been diagnosed with cancer at all. She was stealing photos online of real cancer patients saying that they was her. Anyway, she could be going to jail for quite a long time, and I'm sure GoFundMe is going to make sure everybody who donated, because over 439 people donated to her. She made over $37,000 will get their money back. Just crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, like, you gotta, I don't know. That's a huge scam. You got to go through a lot of effort for that. Yes. And you know, like, you can never really act healthy, I guess. I mean, she continued going to class. She said she was able to golf, which she did, but you still have to, like, always be sick. I don't know, it's a big thing.
I've told this story before. We had a guy who worked with big cancer for a while, and
just crazy.
And he met people at the hospital. He wasn't even at the hospital. It was brilliant what he did, and they finally got caught.
Yeah, brilliant until you get caught.
Well,
you get in some big trouble, right? The Dallas Zoo may need to start upping their security even more after 2 monkeys were stolen on Monday, and this theft was just the latest in some really odd occurrences that have been going on there at the zoo. There's been fences that have been cut, a leopard escaped, and then there was that suspicious death of an endangered vulture that took place in the last few weeks. So police say no arrests have been made quite yet on any of these occurrences, but thankfully the monkeys were found. They were found in the closet of an abandoned home, and now police are searching for the thief. They believe somebody cut the opening of the monkey's enclosure before they stole them, and they actually put out this alert. They want to speak to this man who was spotted. There's a photo of him like eating from a bag of chips at the zoo, and it was right around the same time that these monkeys vanished. But it sounds like the zoo has already added some additional cameras, increased their overnight security, but they might need to do a little bit more. Damar Hamlin, he is kickstarting this campaign to spread CPR awareness and CPR training, obviously after his cardiac arrest on field, and he's now teamed up with the American Heart Association to create something called the 3 for Heart Challenge, and he announced this partnership on an Instagram video.
What's up, everybody? It's D-Ham. Once again, I want to thank everybody for the love and support of these past few weeks. As you know, CPR saved my life earlier this year on the field, and CPR could easily save your life or someone you love. That's why I'm proud to announce that I'm partnering with the American Heart Association and kicking off the Damar Hamlin's 3 for Heart CPR Challenge. And of course, this one's got 3 steps. Step 1, go to heart.org/3 to watch a short video to learn hands-only CPR. Step 2, donate to the AHA to fund CPR awareness and education. And step 3, challenge 3 friends to do the same. To kick things off, I'm challenging the GOATs. LeBron James, Tom Brady, and Michelle Obama, you've all been challenged. And one more thing, make sure you share your videos on all socials and tag me and have your hearts up.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, we'll see how well it goes over.
Is that really him?
Oh gosh. I don't know, is it?
What's that? All right, thank you very much, Heather. All right, coming up next, Wide 9, 97 on the ticket.
All right, guys, are you still looking for a great Valentine's Day gift for your special someone? Well, give her the next best thing to wearing nothing at all with soft, silky, naturally nude pajamas available exclusively from pajamagram.com. Sexy and sultry, naturally nude pajamas feel just like her own skin. Even more alluring than lingerie, the texture and the touch of these pajamas is so seductive, you're both going to love the feel of them. And she will love the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all. We'll leave nothing to the imagination with naturally nude pajamas. Go check them out right now at pajamagram.com. That's pajamagram.com. And order today and save 25% if you use the code NUDE. Now, best of all, every Pajamagram includes free gift packaging, which means you don't have to wrap a thing, and you're going to save 25%. Go to pajamagram.com right now. That's pajamagram.com. Use the code NUDE, that's N-U-D-E, and save 25% off your order of naturally nude pajamas. And hey, while you're there, don't forget to tell them Heather sent you.
Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone, is the official fitness partner of 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, it's TJ here on behalf of Barstool talking about your chance at the new $2,000 player bonus. Play your favorite casino games and play sports bets online from the comfort of your own home with the Barstool Sportsbook and Casino app. Earn My Choice tier points and My Cash with every dollar spent on the app. Get started today and receive your new player offers. If your first sports bet loses, get a free bet up to $1,000. Place your first casino wager and get risk-free wagering on casino bets up to $1,000 for 24 hours. Check out all the details at HollywoodGreektown.com. Must be 21 over. Gambling problem? Please help your best bet. Call 1-800-270-7117.
Surviving COVID as a small business owner was nothing short of a miracle. The 4 shutdowns, adapting the way you did business, now rising inflation. But did you know millions of businesses qualify for the government's employee tax credit? If you're a business owner and have W-2 employees, you can get paid back a portion of the salaries you paid during COVID, up to $26,000 per employee. We're not talking pennies, folks. A business with just 4 W-2 employees could collect over $100,000. Yes, $100,000. Call the experts at Jefferson Duke to find out if you qualify. You pay nothing up front. We get a small portion of what you collect. If you don't get paid, we don't get paid. Call 1-800-416-WORK. Again, 1-800-416-WORK. This is not a loan. There is nothing to pay back. You can use the money however you like. Even if you took PPP money, you may qualify. You work hard for your money. Now let Jefferson Duke work hard for you. Call 1-800-416-WORK.
Are you ready? Every pro is an MVP to us. As a Lowe's MVP's Rewards member, you can earn bonus points when you shop select products and brands. Then redeem them for exciting rewards like tools, sports memorabilia, e-gift cards, and more. Join today to become a member and start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Points expire at end of calendar year. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery.
Yeah, I see the traffic jam on the other side coming from Annie's.
For the ones who get it done.
Yeah, it's
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Papura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable health insurance, call 877-734-2200.
The latest on your Detroit Lions. Download Necessary Roughness with TJ Lang and John Jansen today. Get it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Y9. Yes, even though there's a week off, not for the Y9, not for the governor, Tom Milliken.
All right, well, Jalen Hurts is entering his final year on his contract. Should the Eagles give Hurts a long-term massive deal like Mahomes, Watson, and Allen got?
Yes and no. They should get about the same, yes, the same money.
I've got the same answer.
Same money.
Just not guarantee it.
Well, no, I'm going to say because the cap rises, the percentage decrease. So you can make it as much money, but I don't want you to have that percentage of the cap taken by him. Now, if they win the game a week from Sunday, that could change. He plays great.
It could, but
he should get a big money contract, yes.
Yes, he should get a long-term contract. The problem that he's going to run into is the same thing that Lamar Jackson is running into. We already saw it this year. What happens when Jalen Hurts is hurt? They started to lose games, and he is a physical stop. He we see him squat 500 pounds as a high schooler. Continue to do that. We've seen him run the ball. He does put himself at risk of injury, and the Eagles do as well by doing what he does best, and that's being a dual-threat quarterback. I don't guarantee a guy that much money like a Deshaun Watson, but I do want to make sure that I pay him.
Buffalo maybe is problem for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. If I'm an agent for Hurts, I got a guy who was a Super Bowl or was an MVP candidate more than Deshaun Watson has ever been. And if he wins the Super Bowl, a Super Bowl champ.
Right.
I'm going to the negotiating table saying, I want what he's got. And this is the problem what the Browns did to the rest of the league, because we all think it's absurd, but the reality of the situation is this is the bargaining chip for these guys. I'll say this about him.
Agents also know that there's also extremes on both ends.
Right. But here's the deal with him. Because he's a second-round pick in a third year, going to his final year next year, he had one last year because of second-round pick. He could potentially, if he bets on himself, negotiate like a 3-year, $150 million deal and come back up for this all over again in a couple of years.
You know what? If I'm the Eagles, I think that's a great move.
It's a we win, a win both sides.
7 years in, and they're also going to be keeping an eye on what Lamar Jackson does this offseason.
All right, I believe some of us truly take Patrick Mahomes for granted. The guy played through a very difficult injury, and how will be annoyed at Joe Burrow. When all is said and done, will Mahomes have more rings than any current QB not named
more rings. All right, so what does more rings mean?
Than any other guy playing in the league.
Yes, let me walk through this for a little bit because this is the tough part. When you're in the AFC, he's going to be competing with Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, as you mentioned, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence.
How many do those guys have? If he gets another one here, he's 2-0.
Okay, I get that. Okay, so after the year, yeah, he could have 2 more than anybody else. But you're talking about throughout the course of his career. I don't know that he has more than, say, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a major contender with Doug Peterson as coach. They put some tools around him. They got into the playoffs. They're young. I'm going to say no, that whether it's, and I don't know who it's going to be, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, I think one of those guys ends up outdoing Patrick Mahomes?
I think it's going to be yes, because I think he's going to get one more. Hopefully it won't be next Sunday, but he'll get at least one more. And because of the quarterback competition, especially in the AFC, don't forget the Pro Bowl award-winning that they'll only get like one because there's so many good quarterbacks. So I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, they might cannibalize each other. And
Right.
the other thing is, the list of guys who have two is pretty short when you really look at it.
No, I know.
All right, as I mentioned, Mahomes is banged up. Hurts is not 100%. If one of them gets hurt in Super Bowl 57, which team has the more capable backup in terms of leading their team to victory?
All right. If it's early in the game, I would say Philly. But if it's for one series, I think Chad Henne, because of his playoff experience, he's 11 of 15 in the playoffs. He's made a few important throws. The one against Cleveland.
Wait.
Hold on. Everybody talks about the drive that he had 2 weeks ago.
The 98-yard drive.
He only threw 23 yards on that drive. But yeah, I'm going to say Henne in a short term.
All right, so if it's a long-term deal, like it's going to have to be 3.5 quarters.
Yeah.
You think Gardner Minshew is going to go in and do a better job than Chad Henne?
Yeah.
That's foolish.
Well, maybe.
What did the stash do when he went in as a starter for 3 weeks?
He didn't
lost.
Yeah, okay. But what's Henne? At least he has.
Henne has gone in when it has mattered most.
Right.
And been able to win games or extend drives or go in there
for
and
a short period.
At least he's got some wins under his belt.
Of all the issues in the wide nine that would cause this fire.
A short period.
Well, we got a Philly homer here. I guess I should have expected that.
Oh yeah. Listen to Michigan homer.
The Gardner went to Michigan.
Yeah. I got something to back it up
right,
with.
Exactly. If the mustache went to Michigan, you'd probably say the mustache.
All right, let's move on, guys. Calm down. We got 6 more of these to get through. 49ers once again failed to win the Super Bowl with what I deem is the best roster in football. Besides Tom Brady, who should the 49ers pursue as their starting quarterback next season?
Well, let's not forget, they still have Trey Lance and Brock Purdy on their roster. Nothing says that they have to go out and do anything.
Has it worked with anything they've done the last 4 years? Answer, no.
Well, they've been in the NFC Championship game. They haven't gotten over the hump. I get that. So if they're going to look, I mean, I would imagine that they could trade a 7th-round pick for a Pro Bowler this year and get Tyler Huntley, jokingly. No, I think they've got to pursue Derek Carr. I think he is a guy that would come in and give them the experience, the leadership, and just it would be a little better than Jimmy G. Not a lot, but a little bit better. And he's been durable.
My answer right there. I agree with you, Derek Carr. But to go back to the other question, the other reason I choose Minshew is because Chad Henne against Philly's defensive line, Hassan Reddick will basically decapitate him.
I just threw a flag on
okay.
Stoney.
Yeah.
You don't ever go back to an issue in the wide nine once we've completed it.
In half a
There's more intrigue in this Lions offseason than there's been in years. They have draft capital in the 13th best cap situation in the NFL. If Brad Holmes were to make a bold offseason move, what would it be and why?
He would trade the 6th overall pick, 56, and a number 1 in 2024 for Quinnen Williams and number 44. There you go. You have your defensive tackle for the next 10 years. He's a great freaking player, and you can take your cornerback.
I'm surprised you wouldn't trade for Minshew.
And your cornerback, you take your cornerback at 18.
I don't throw him. Give him a 5-year contract, $250 million. Come in here and be the man. No, I tell you, I think the bold move. I do also think that you trade in the draft, but I think the bold move would be for him to trade up and not get a guy that's already in the league. And obviously Quinnen Williams, I think, is the stud of defensive lineman, young defensive lineman. But you trade number 6, 48 and 81 this year to go up to number 3 and take that Arizona pick. And then at that point, you can pick Jalen Carter. You might be able to get Will Anderson. Or if the quarterback is the position you want to get because you're not going to be picking this high again, you take the quarterback that you think is the future of this team. Not for next year. Please do not hit the ticket text. Not for next year. For the future.
You could also trade number 6 for Pro Bowler Tyler Hunt.
Could. It'd be overpaying him, though.
All right. Bijan Robinson is universally thought to be the best running back in the draft this year. If the Lions don't select Robinson, what running back in this draft class do you think would be the best fit for the Lions?
I think a guy that is very much like DeAndre Swift other than the fact that he's more durable. A guy that can run the ball, can catch the ball out of the backfield, that's UCLA's Zach Charbonnet.
Oh, boy, I missed you.
No, UCLA's Zach Charbonnet.
I got the same thing with me. 6'1", he's 220. He averaged over 7 yards a carry and 8.5 yards catching the football.
He was targeted 44 times in the year,
yeah.
caught 37 of them, and was very effective in both the pass game and the run game.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jamal Williams, and I want him to bring him back. But if they can't agree, this would be a very nice selection.
Yeah.
I think similar, younger, and potentially better.
Yeah.
The destination
The Denver Broncos filled their head coaching bases yesterday.